Good afternoon, 6-4 parents. Mr. Hagedorn here with our weekly update. Hope everybody had a great track out. Just a couple quick updates before I get into math. We sent report cards home today. Those don't need to come back. You can see all those grades in Power School, but they got sent home today. A big ask, if anybody has any tissues they would like to donate. So much snot. It's that time of year, and we went through a lot of tissues before we tracked out, and we are basically out. So we would love some tissue donations. That would be awesome. We got some testing to talk about today. Kids took the NC check-in in math. On Tuesday, they'll take the NC check-in for reading. And then on Friday, they will take their STAR math assessment. Me and Miss Sparks don't get to pick these days. We don't get to pick when it happens. We're just kind of told to deal with it. So I know it's a lot for the kids the first 2 weeks back, but unfortunately, we don't have any control over that. All right, in math, next week for Math 6 Plus, we started distributed property in one of my classes. The other class, we had a bit of an emergency I had to go help with, and we didn't get to do anything with that. They did some IXL. So we'll do distributed property next week, get into simplifying expressions, and then we'll have that STAR, like I said, on Friday. Math 6, we just finished up talking about GCF, greatest common factor, and LCM, least common multiple, this week. Next week, we're going to start talking about some fractions. We're going to talk about converting mixed numbers to improper fractions, adding and subtracting fractions, and then again, we will have our STAR on Friday. Have a great weekend. We will see you on Monday.
Hey there, hope everybody had a great week. This week we started Module 3 in the EL curriculum, which is Sustaining the Oceans, and we started reading an informational text called World Without Fish, which is going to lead into our novel that we're going to be reading called Flesh. The standards we're focusing on are going to be main idea, vocab strategies, except this time with informational text, and then tracing the development of an idea, which is a new one we haven't really spent a lot of time on. So we're going to be focusing on that a lot. Let's see. And just to give you a little bit of background about the World Without Fish, it's basically how it discusses how marine life has been impacted by pollution and by global warming and by overfishing. Let's see. There's a comprehension quiz on Wednesday. We're going to start those back again. Those are going to be every Wednesday, where it's basically a reading passage like they would see on the check-in or the EOG, and then they answer questions. And then Mr. Hagedorn already said it, but our NC check-in for reading is on Tuesday. I hope everybody has a great week and weekend.
All right, everybody. This week we started our next major unit on plate tectonics. We got some notes on Monday. Then we talked about Pangea and continental drift. And it's kind of hard sometimes in talking with kids about this because you're talking about things that happened 200 million years ago and then compared to happen today, and kids have a hard time with what happened yesterday. And then I'm talking about 2 million years, and then 200 million, which is even just astronomically large. Either way, they're starting to get better. So we worked on Pangea and we figured out Alfred Wegener's theory. And then today we kind of just wrapped up the week because of the 30-minute classes because of the check-in today. But next week, we're going to dive a little bit more into these boundaries. What do they do? What do they make landform ways? Each of these boundaries have unique things that they do to the crust, have unique ways that they move, and have unique landforms that they create. So on Monday, we're going to be investigating that. On Tuesday, we're going to be using all those wonderful Oreos that was donated. So thank you, parents, for whoever donated the Oreos. That was awesome. We have plenty to get through what we need. On Wednesday, we're going to be digging back into looking at a picture of plate movements, and the kids are going to have to basically use their notes to figure out what landforms are being made at different boundaries by looking at the clues on the picture. On Thursday, we're going to be doing claim evidence and reasoning based on knowing that the lithosphere is moving and creating different things. Then we're going to finish up this unit on plate tectonics on Friday with a Canvas check-in. Just to let you know that the science check-in will be scheduled quarter to never, and I hope you have a great weekend.
quarter to never. Okay, let's talk social studies fast. We have finished our unit on achievements before our winter break, and now we're starting our unit on politics. And so what we're going to do with politics is we start to look at ancient world and the foundation of government. We start to look at why we need a government, what kinds of governments started. So we look at the differences between monarchies and democracies. We look at the differences as empires and dictatorships. We talk about the differences between those types of governments. We talk a little bit about what citizenship was in the ancient world. And then we get into a couple of our kind of important historic law things like the Justinian's Code, Magna Carta. We talk about the 12 Tables of Rome. We talk about Hammurabi's Code and just versus unjust laws, that type of thing. Ancient world government is our main focus. So right now we've just been really focusing on the foundation piece and a little bit of the different types of government. And as we go through the next couple of weeks, we'll go into those other things I just spoke of. So that's what we're doing in social studies. Hopefully you had a lovely week and welcome back. We'll see you next week.